Check, check. What's up, team? How are we doing? Always be winning. Good to see you in here. A few regular faces, or not faces, but names. Glad to have you guys in here. How's everyone's weekend? It's very eventful in the world for sure. Hope everybody had a good weekend though. Get your requests in the chat if you want. Format it like this. I don't know how many people are gonna have in here, but pretty much 10 or 12 requests, really all we got time for. Usually a little more or a few more maybe, but put it in the chat if you're here early and want something to look at. But if you're just here for some charts, that's all right too. But I'm gonna give it a couple more minutes, guys, and hang tight. We'll get started. Oh, Kevin, yeah, just the class is only an hour, but if she has, just tell her it's a long one tonight. It's gonna go 3 hours. So you have to clean the kitchen. That's funny. All right, 4:59 my time, almost 5 o'clock. One more server ping, guys. We'll dive in. But again, if you want some requests, put it in the Zoom chat. Try and format it like this, please. Look on the screen. That way it's easy for me to follow and I can help you out quicker. So far, we got nothing in a small class, so plenty of time. If I don't see any requests, I'll just kind of go over some stuff on my watch list or whatever you want to do. Yeah, Google. I figured Google is a big one. I think Luigi's in that one, so we can definitely go over that for sure. Do you know if he's in GOOG or GOOGL? Let me know if you guys know. But one more ping here, real quick. AMD, cool. I'll write that down. Anybody here from the free side of OOT, the non-paid version? Let me know. I'm just trying to gauge how many people we're getting in here. Let me know in the chat. We usually got one or two. Nice. All right. All right. Sent that out in the Discord. Cool. So, and Google GOGL. Perfect. Yep. I think I went ahead and charted some of that for you guys. Seen it rejecting where I expected and where it's bouncing where I expect, at least how I chart. So we'll definitely go over that. So, all right, y'all. Let's take a look where we're at. Obviously, huge, Middle East conflict, war news over the weekend. Lots going on. Lots of information out there. Lots of misinformation out there. So just be careful. And my one little disclaimer: just I don't have anything prepared tonight, but keep it respectful in trade for guys. We got people from all walks of life. I mean, just people I deal with every day. Off the top of my head, I have people from the Philippines, um, Israel, actually, Canada. If I'm looking through my DMs, Malaysia. Who's another guy here? So my point is, guys, somebody knows someone or somebody has family. What's going on over there in the Middle East? So just keep it respectful. The stuff I'm seeing online of carpet bombing and turn this and that to a parking lot is just not cool. We can be against the government, whatever that government's doing over there, but for the most part, the people are good people, want to make a living for themselves. So keep it respectful. But with that being said, guys, obviously a little bit of a gap down, market's reaction for sure. If we take a peek at XLE, energy oil stuff, I'm sure it's up. Yeah, it's up huge. So, and stuff like airlines, they obviously need fuel to run. And so stuff like that is going to get hit extra hard as well. So, with that, guys, we're just going to chart out what we're seeing now. I have a feeling a lot is going to change by tomorrow morning, but we're just going to roll with what we got. So, we closed up here around the 684 zone. Obviously, a gap down. We were not well under, but we are under 681 pretty convincingly right now. And so, the first focus for me, what I want to kind of show you guys, teach you guys to look at, I'm on the 1 hour chart here for you guys that are maybe new to how I chart or charting in general. I like to do the 1 hour, the 30-minute chart because it kind of shows us a lot of intraday information. It shows us all that pre-market, after hours action, what to look for. And it really just zones in on these wicks here. And so getting some drawings up here. I just draw my support resistance on the big pivot zones, obviously, where there's big reactions up and down. And then these red zones are just kind of the big clusters of where, we come into it and we bounce every time, or we come into it, we start rejecting every time. And so now that we're kind of under this red zone here, that's going to be my focus tomorrow, going into tomorrow. So basically, unless we push over Friday's low, kind of not quite 682, but anywhere in this red zone is a scalper's paradise, scalper zone for me. And for me, it's a no zone. If we do not reclaim 682, I'm playing the downside, but not super bearish because I'm mindful of these very, very recent buyback wicks here, just from Monday, Tuesday of last week. And so really, that's why I'm kind of calling this a no zone. I am not bearish until we crack underneath this red zone here. If you guys want more explanation as I go over this, just open the mic, just keep it relevant to SPY. Stop me, say, hey, can you explain that more? Keep it on topic, but you guys do have the ability to unmute your mics. But yeah, as of now, this is kind of my no man's land into here, just because we see this big reaction back and forth, back and forth. I'm not confident either way inside here taking calls or puts. So it's a break under really like 681, push down that 680, this 679, 67 zone. Big old cluster here. We see that big reaction when we come down to there, all that price action activity down to there. And so, yeah, if we sell 681, I'm not calling for this way down here like I always say, just looking for a nice retracement into this lower range down into here. If this red zone is reclaimed, I'll flip it to green. And basically, I'm playing stuff like this. Any breakouts over, I'm looking for bounces. Not saying we're going to 686 in one shot. I don't know. No one can predict that. But a hold of this zone here, if you guys want to write it down or take screenshots, basically 681.8. I'm looking for retracement to at least 683. So basically, it's Monday. I'll be taking a Wednesday contract to 683 contract, and I'm trimming on the way up with a final target here. If we go more, that's fine. But that's kind of my play, is to play into this range right here on SPY. Any questions on this before we go to your guys' watch list? I know it's kind of quick. Just want to make sure. I'll shut up for a second. I'll look at the chat. I don't think I see anything. And all right, cool. So we'll go to your guys' watch list. There's not a whole lot in here. So again, if you guys want something on the chat, if you're in it already, let me know. Say, hey, I'm in Tesla. I'm not in looking for an entry tomorrow, or hey, I'm in Tesla. I'm probably going to be down with the gap down. How would I get out of this, or what would I do? So put that in the chat like this, just so it's easy for when I come back to your name, so it's easy to find it. So I think we had first was AMD from iPhone, right? Yeah, so looking to get in. Let's check out where AMD is, probably a gap down as well. But look at this. Thick lines here, thick lines are more important to me. And we're zooming out here. Let's see where it stopped, if it kind of makes sense. And to me, right away, this absolutely makes sense. iPhone, everybody else, look at this 195. Absolutely. I'm not telling you guys right at the opening bell to dive into calls, because it's probably gonna be a big battle back and forth here. What may look like a nice bullish candle can get just rejected in the next candle down. And so, but again, look at these bounces here. Look at this defended just from Monday last week. Look at that defended. So they opened over it, slammed it. Let me zoom in here so you guys can see this. Definitely a setup, guys. I do not want to be diving into puts here at all. So this was last Monday's price action. Again, these are hourly candles. Every single candle, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 candles. Every single candle on Monday defended and bounced. So hypothetically, obviously in hindsight, buy calls, trim up here, they sell back down. Buy calls, you could do it at 7 different times. Again, obviously hindsight trading, but again, we're seeing the reaction already off of that zone there. They sold down to that 195, so definitely not a spot. So first scenario for me, try and buy that dip at 195, get into something that makes sense. 196 calls, probably not over 197 unless you're buying a lot of time. And what are you doing? You're going for that gap fill, but you're not looking for this right away, because what do we have? Friday's low. So basically 198 flat. That's a big target. What do we have before that? We're looking left. Look at all these wicks right here, guys. So if I were to draw a line here, for me, something like this: target 1, target 2, target 3, and just say you had 4 targets or 4 contracts, excuse me. We fill that gap, we push up in here, fine, hold a runner into there. But holding full position up into here, again, is super greedy, because you're ignoring targets that just happened, a mere 5 days ago. And so I definitely not a spot that I'm looking to be bearish on right here. Option 2, if you want to be bearish, let's say we just fill this gap on the way up tomorrow, and we push up to here and reject to this level here. Rejections, bottom side plan on seeing rejections here. That's the only spot I'd short it. If we push up into 199, 1992, failed breakout, like, the first 30 minutes of the day or whatever, first hour of the day, yeah, get your puts for retracement back down. And what are we doing? We're going back into Friday's low, at least for target one. And then same thing on the downside. We're looking back here on these wicks. These are probably going to bounce right here on the downside if we were to move back down to 195. Obviously, clear as day. Very nice range here. You're buying the dip at 195 again. Hopefully that helps you guys. Super nice chart as of now. Very, very nice chart in the first one. Google. I think this is an alert. There's an open contract floating around. Not sure if you guys are up or down on this right now, but I'll just show you some things that I was looking at here on this chart. Oh, I guess I had the other Google charted out. So give me a second here. It should pretty much line up the same.
Yo, 1K, what's up, man?
What's up, man?
Yo, did you get my message?
DMs? If you send a DM, no. Did you send it in DMs?
Yeah, I think I sent you a chart.
Really? Earlier, yeah. I thought you just sent something out. Yeah. Was it NOW? What was it? Yeah, we can look at that for sure, brother. I'll get on the list for you. Let me see. Are you? Your iPhone. Okay, cool. Yeah. So Google guys, big spot here. We rejected it. I don't know when Luigi got in. I'm not gonna trade or tell you how he should trade. I'm just gonna tell you what I'm seeing here. Again, I'm not sure when he got in here, but I'm seeing this 314.5, basically. Big reaction here, big reaction. Sell through it. They try and reclaim it, getting smacked down. Try and reclaim it. Break down. So like once this was support, resistance, 3 times in a row. And so right now, your guys' top range for me, clear as day. I'm not bullish. I'm not starting a position up into here. If we buy calls down into here, that's fine. Let's make this an upper range target up here, this 314.5. But I know we're not up here right now, but for me to take calls up here, that's a no-go. So I just want to point this out for you guys, at least how I chart. I don't trade into double tops looking for a breakout. I play the short, and if they break over, I stop out on puts for a small loss, and then I get into calls on a retest of this level here. But big zone at the top, but also big zone at the bottom, you guys. So here, quick charting, but this 306, look at this 306 zone here and all this here. And to me, it's no example, or it's no surprise, kind of where we gap to and where we're kind of holding. So Thursday, Friday, look at that reaction there at that 306. Opening bell, they try and dip it under. Nope, they buy it back up. Late afternoon, midday, wherever you guys are at, look at that. Try and dip it under, they buy it back up. Strong close. Obviously, we sold back through that. But 306, you guys, if you guys are not in this trade, I think this is a very, very good entry for a dip buy. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit here. Let's check the daily. Yeah, look at that 306. Look at the top side of that wick there, that cluster there. Absolutely a spot. Absolutely a spot. We want to buy the dips. So on the daily chart, top zone resistance, and now look at support. They're buying it. They're buying it back. They're buying it back. They're holding. They're buying it back. So 306, you're lying in the sand. Anything under that, to me, I don't know how much time is on those contracts. Again, follow his trade plan. But under 306 gets pretty ugly for call holders. If you take an entry with time at 306, yeah, you can hold down to this 304 zone. But again, you're saying, hey, I'm holding $2 against me. You think about option Greeks, that's not going to be a really good day. But there is some buybacks in this little pocket down here. So for me, got to buy the dip at 306. But again, if that slices under and kind of breaks under what was held last week, again, breaking last week's highs or breaking last week's lows. So you break the highs, that is a bullish trigger. You break last week's low, that is very bearish on a setup short term. And so we break this little range here, this little red zone, not good, because we can see the day it did break a couple Fridays ago, got kind of ugly there, sold down another $10. You don't want to be in short dated calls, let it go in $10 against you. You do not want that. So again, nice range here, two requests, 2 very bottom range ticks. Could be the theme of the night. We will see. But Any questions on Google before I move on? Don't see anything right now, so. All right, scrolling back up in the chat to get caught up here. All right. Yeah, Kevin, let's look at Meta real quick. I see a couple mentions here for you. I'm assuming you're not in, just want to be in, so that's cool. Let's see here. And then we got now from Norvin. So we got Meta. And gold. I'm sure it's probably up. IWM, good to have you in here, JT. We'll definitely take a look at that. Cool. All right, we'll roll that for now. Meta. Let's see where it's gapping down to. Same thing. Obviously, I could draw some more lines here, but I had some bottom range zone for here for a reason, and it's under that. Let's make a thick line here. Let's zoom out. Let's see. If I tell you to buy the dip, I want to make sure it's a good spot here. Give me 1 second. Just kind of looking left and right here. Definitely that 636 stands out. I know we have some candles engulfing it, but the buybacks here, the buyback there, this big wick buyback here from a couple weeks ago, a month ago, very, very interesting there for sure. Just that 642 is gonna be big resistance now. So that was kind of our big looking here, guys. This was kind of our battle here, the big battle. They sold through it, and then they pushed up, they engulfed it. What they do? They bounced it, retested it, bought it back. Big battle here, battle here. Let me zoom into present day, because I know these charts get kind of messy sometimes, but this is what I'm eyeing here, guys. So for me, very, very nice range here. $6 range, not too bad. So Meta's kind of in the middle, because like I say, when I say middle, I see this price action just back and forth. I see this price action. I'm kind of just cherry pick. I know it sold through sometimes. I know it bounced through, but when I see this, if we open here, not so far, we've won a couple of requests tonight, but not my favorite setup to dive into calls for a push up. It could very well pay you $2.50. That'd be awesome. When I just see this battle back and forth here, for me, I'd be better. Scenario number one, taking puts under any morning rejection here and a sell through Friday's low. So we're looking at basically, 638 flat, basically, to kind of make it a little bit cleaner. And so we're just looking every time that 638 sells through, kind of a hard sell down there, nice kill candle down there. But in the middle range here, don't love it. And then if we kind of open here, this is why I would hate even more for calls. It could pay, but this is not my style. So any push up here pre-market, we open, you see a decent push up, and you're like, oh, calls on here. I do not like calls here at the 642.35. This is just a big, big bounce zone, big range into here. I know a few cents over and under, back and under. It's, we can nitpick on an exact level, but just right there, I don't like that. For me, I'd feel better if we pushed up early, back test it and go, and then let's complete that gap fill. That's fine with me on a call try. If we kind of fade this move here that's happening this overnight session, buy that dip at 636. I'm confident seeing levels defended there every single time. Again, it's just one of those things where I would just, for me, send alert here, send alert here. If we push up and we start failing this after a decent pre-market move, get your puts, retrace it back down. Or if we fade this move overnight, we start coming down into here, crack 638, take your puts, but be mindful of the 636 zone where we continue to see buybacks on that. So again, not my favorite chart, but definitely tradable with some patience. Hopefully it helps you, Kevin. If not, unmute your mic and we'll talk through it. But yeah, definitely we'll see what we get with this one. All right, Norvy, NOW. What do we got on this one, brother? I seen your DM earlier. I don't remember if you said you're in it or not, but this is probably from you, right? Look at this line here. What are we doing here? Back in this range. Let's take a look here, man. Norman, he's still here. Speak.
Yes, sir.
Okay, there he is. He had to take a drink of his Modelo. All right, brother.
This is where we buy puts, huh?
Well, I mean, look at this bounce though, man. I know we talked about this several weeks, several times, but are you in this one already, or just we're just eyeing it because it's coming back to some levels?
No, just pretty much accumulating our shares, and
Yeah, let
I
me
think it's ready to go long. Like it's down already 50%. Like what much can I ask for, right?
right. Yeah. Oh shit. Sorry, I just moved the share screen. Damn it, my bad, guys. Yeah, we had that big. Yeah, that we're at that 104. Yeah, the 104.29, man. Like that is back here. Same thing. Nice consolidation zone here. Basically, we'll call it like a $12 range here. Like, um, one second here, man. Ah, come on. Drawing mode. There we go. So basically, a nice range here, and hang with me here. Let's just extend this the whole year. Why not? We're gonna come back to this name. So yeah, we're looking back here, 2.5 years ago, 2023. Nice big move, getting its butt whooped, and now we're coming back into here. So definitely a zone. What does this company do, Norman? Like what sector?
Similar to pretty much ASML, kind of Dell software. Um,
Kind of software
yeah,
techie-ish.
they've been connected or correlated with Nvidia.
Okay.
Their market cap grew on that, but
Yeah,
just took a hit, on the software names. But
I'm gonna check this one out. I'm not just sucking up, man. This is super nice setup. So we have a daily and weekly proven range gain defended. Yeah, there's some candles below it, but it's not very long. They're bouncing back over this 104.29. We're not getting a breakout, but like we're seeing accumulation down here,
yeah,
consolidation. Consolidation leads to a big move, and so when I see something on support like this, and we haven't talked about yet tonight, guys. So my dashed green line is my daily 20 moving average, and my purple is my daily 9 moving average on the daily. These are now curling under it. And so you see up here, when we break under, moving averages are just moving support resistance line. Look at resistance, smacking it down, smack down, all the way, all the way, all the way, all the way. And now down here, they are curling under it. So now what is that? That is support underneath us. Up again, hypothetically, the move hasn't happened yet, but this is what you want to see. You want to see some consolidation here and slow upticks, and these moving averages are going to curl. The 9's going to curl faster because it's less, days calculation, and the 20 is going to cross underneath it, and you get those moving averages, and that is now 1, 2, 3 forms of support down here, man. So yeah, you shareholders, I don't know much about the company, do your own research, but from a chart perspective, if you want to nibble a new entry on something, this is it. And if it sells under here, I mean, just use the 100 psych level. And what are you risking? Like 4 or 5% on shares? Like that's nothing. But nibbling here or some long dated swings. I don't know what the options liquidity looks like here on this name, but definitely like it. I'm not saying it's a straight shot up here to this 120, the top of this range, but definitely if we start setting, here's a low, here's a higher low, and a higher low, and a higher, we start stair stepping up. You just ride those moving averages, man, and go get that 120. Could take 3 months, could take 3 weeks. I don't know, but super nice chart here, man. Nice request on that.
yeah, these are the type of companies you pretty much. This is where you get in, and this is where you'll get that 50% return, and pretty much quicker than you think. But yeah, these are the type of companies that no matter what happens, you look at the chart. I think max chart, you see every time it pulls
Yeah,
back like this. It just it goes
yeah. I
back
mean,
again.
I'd have to do some research on like if it's like a market share thing or whatever, like why they're getting their ass kicked so bad when tech's kind of up and consolidating. The stock
Yeah.
name is NOW. Looks like it's called
Yeah,
Service
look at the
Now.
market cap. I think it's in the MU type of category. Lam Research. Yeah, it's not a small name, but obviously it got hammered. And yeah, other
Right.
company I'm looking at, PayPal. I was talking with Infinity about this one.
Mhm.
38 range. I hit a 2017 pretty much support. And I was talking to Infinity about this one, I think 2, 3, maybe 4 weeks ago.
Mhm.
And now it's already continuing pretty much it found its bottom, PayPal. Uh Still under 50. But yeah, man.
Yeah, dude, we'll take a look at if we got time for sure, man. I'll put on the list. I want to get some other requests in, but this is a good first one, man. Like I said, nice low range consolidation. I love this for shares. I just got to look into the company a little more and kind of see why it's getting whacked. But nice work, man, for sure.
All right, thanks, man. Appreciate
Yep.
it.
All right, JT, you're up. I'm gonna skip someone who left. Maybe their phone cut out, but if I see him join back in, we'll hit up their request. But JT's got some IWM, of course. Whoa.
Yeah, man. I don't know what the fuck that is.
What?
Uh,
No. What in the what?
yeah.
What?
Uh,
What in the what in the what?
yeah, I just hit correct bar and got rid of
Yeah,
that.
I mean, I got to do the 76% down. That's wild, man. That's worse than Bank of America. Damn, that's crazy. All right. Well, at least intraday, it's a hidden. Yeah, it's hidden. Okay, we can work with that. You got anything on this, brother? Just want to kind of compare levels and look for a new entry tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm looking for a new entry because what I got right now is cooked.
Oh, did you swing something and it's
Yeah.
now cooked? Oh, dang it.
Yeah. And the only saving grace is I was swinging some XLE calls too, but
Yeah, I
uh,
mean it's obviously not a direct thing, but you can, if you have that mindset, if you take a whatever X amount dollar hit here and you got the XLE calls, I mean, it worked. It's not a direct hedge, but it's smart, because all the war talk was going on for a while. And then like the last, 10 to 14 days it really heated up. I thought it was gonna happen last week and it didn't. And then I didn't swing anything. I don't really like to swing on trying to catch those plays. That's not really I don't care if people do. I didn't want to do it. I didn't have any need to do it, and so I didn't. But yeah, this IWM, definitely at 258. I think we've talked before that 258, and now for me, I'd be using 260 as our top until we crack back over it. So nice range here. I'm gonna go Christmas tree on you. Get the red and green. So green support zone, red resistance. Kind of smack in this middle. I think. I mean, basically a $1 or excuse me, $2 range, smack in the middle here. I'm seeing when 259 fails, it gets ugly. When 259 holds, it's beautiful for the buyers. Big buyback, big buyback, big. A little bit of sell there, but big reaction. So that's kind of how I treat that. Again, like I tell most people, you're a little more experienced than most, but doesn't mean you have to play the opening bell. But any 259 that's getting defended, you decide how much risk you want to take on expiration, how early in the day you want to take it. But when I'm seeing this getting defended. They poked it under on what is this? I'm on the 30-minute chart. Let me get out of this drawing mode here. And yeah, the very next candle, they bought it back up and defended 259. So for me, if you want to be a bull, snag them at 259. If they got a half strike that is good liquidity or 260, go for that gap fill. I don't know exactly where that gap fill, maybe 260.4, but don't ignore at least how I trade or how I try and teach this Friday bottom, looky left. It's the same at that bottom there. So I expect some kickback. I think a lot of people are going to be looking for 260 right away, and it might stop just short of that. So be mindful of that. I would definitely send an alert there at that Friday low that, buys, and coming back up into it. That's going to be some orders kicking it down. If they don't absorb that, it's going to push back down pretty hard. But if they do absorb it, look for that big breakout, and hold runners. If you got a few, hold them over that 260. 259 fails, again, just kind of the middle of the range here, really no bias. Just if that fails, don't love it as much because of a decent buyback here, but go target that 258 for anything, I'd say like 5 days expiration or shorter, but super nice range here, just a little bit tricky. A lot of consolidation here, big buyback. So we know, let me go to the daily here, just kind of see what we're cooking with here. ugly ass candle. Yeah, same thing. So it's a top and it's a top, excuse me, and then a bottom, defended. So they don't want it under 258. If it does, they don't leave it on there for very long, brother. Is that kind of what you're seeing, or kind of how you trade as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, that 250, yeah, 258, man, for sure. This is my paper account. I don't want to set any alerts on it. It's not going to go through on my real one, but super nice range, man. Yeah, let me know. I think River trades with you guys too, but I'll jump in VC if you guys nab this tomorrow. But nice setup for sure, man. This wacky candle, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
IWM was my bread and butter, and I think I kind of got a reputation for some good wins out of it.
Yep. Yeah, it's nice, man. Is it it's probably um that's gonna change a lot, but yeah, weeklies, it's not too bad. It's probably priced a little bit better than Spine QQ, I'm sure. Definitely not too bad on the pricing of that. Yeah. I need to get on it more. I was on it for a while, like 2023, 2024, and kind of for no reason, whatever, just kind of gave up with it. But I need to get back on that. But I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna make a note on my notepad over here of IWM to kind of transfer these over to my real trading account, and might start him to see a little bit more. But nice request, man. This can go either way, but yeah, if that 260s reclaim, I think it's game on. You just start playing back in this upper range, up in this 262, 264 ranging, and it's been paying us. But super, super respect on levels that are like that. But nice request, man.
Yeah, man.
All right. Alex, you still in here? You are. MU, let's take a look. Alex, for a feeder on mute if you want. Are you a day trader, swing trader? What's your cup of tea here? Let me know, or you can put in the chat if you don't want to talk. That's all good too.
For MU, I usually don't try to hold it for longer than a day, so I'd probably say a day trader.
Day trader, cool. So let me peek at SPY real quick. This thing is bouncing hard. Let me see what the rest of the markets are doing. I'll come back to this, I promise. Just want to see. Yeah, we're getting a big buyback. Yeah. I think the gap down, the war news, we really, unless I don't get too off topic, but unless we start seeing just like lone wolf attacks in the US or something like that, I think the markets are going to shake this off in anywhere from like 1 to 5 days, like pretty quickly. I'm not saying we're going to bounce over the 686 again, but I don't think this is a big sell, big fear thing in the markets. They've been pretty resilient. But so back to MU, but yeah, it's a pretty big bounce. So I got some levels here from somebody. 1 second here. Not sure if this was you or someone else a couple weeks ago. We definitely got a nice range here, brother. I kind of already know my bias, my mindset here. So if we miss this big push up, for me, this is definitely a waiting game if you want to be a bull, and that's totally fine if you want to. But I got to see a clear over this 412.50 basically. If you want to take a screenshot, write down. So basically, what I'm doing is I'm seeing bounces here, multiple days, sell through, defended. Sell through pre-market, defended heavily, bought back, tried to sell through, bought it back, basically closing kind of break even on that pivot spot, so to speak. And so it's super simple for me. It's all I do is I look for levels with the highest interest, and this just stands out clear as day. I got it charted from someone, which is awesome, makes it quicker. But if we are not breaking over and retesting, so basically breakout retest would basically be like this day. So, I push up from underneath a retest, and this retest would be this white candle here that they close at it. The next candle, what do? They bounce it. And so if they don't break over this level, brother, and hold it, which was basically you're holding this afternoon high. So what do we know? Previous day high low, previous week high low, stuff like that. That's what I'd want to see to get long on this name. So basically, to me, this is kind of a chase here. You can play this gap fill. Absolutely. But, you're buying into this price action here from Friday. So I try to be a low risk trader as I can be. I don't love if we open, sorry, I'm trying to get to my drawings here. If we open and we are kind of like 3/4 of that gap fill, I would just wait for it to be filled, wait another 30 minutes, see how the day shakes out. If they break over this, retest, yeah, get that continuation up, get these targets, get the daily 9 moving average. But If you kind of chase right into here, you get that gap there, and you're like, okay, we're gonna go for more, and we start smacking it down into here, you might see something like that. I know this kind of engulfs it, but you might see a big candle like that. So be mindful of that, brother. But I'm not super bearish on this name either. So for me, I want to see it close under Friday's, not Friday's low. This was probably our low. I don't know if that's pre-market, but Friday's afternoon session there. Basically, that would give me confidence because we'll be clearing this as well. That was basically a defended zone. I know it ticked under it. They defended at the open. They sold slightly below it and defended again. If they sell through that, that tells me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 1-hour candles are no longer defending this, and they're probably going to sell it down. I don't know how far, but that's really the only spot I'd be bearish, basically under 406 flat. Does that kind of make sense for you? Is that kind of what you're looking for in this one?
Yeah, that gave me some good confirmation.
Yeah. So basically that 412, that's, I'm kind of using air quotes. I feel better on longs because you're clearing this low zone here that's reclaimed. I think, sellers will be stuck. And then under 406, I know it's kind of a big range, but it's just, if it's a recent breakdown and retest, it'd be a little cleaner, but we just have all this junk in here that I just say, hey, you can take puts here. You might get the sell down, but you might get chopped up too. And I don't like that on people. Like, they send me a chart and they're like, dude, it's going up and down 15%. What do I do? And I'm just like, I show them, obviously in hindsight, like, oh, you're caught in this shit. And I don't want people to do that. So it's just best to wait for you clear to level. I know you got to be patient on that, but this thing can move, 430 to 4, it can move $15 in a day, easy. So no reason you can't wait for a 406 slice if you want to be bearish on that, but decent setup for sure. Just watch that as we push in that 410, 412 zone, for sure, man. All right. Let me see here. That person is gone.
Yo, 1K, can I ask you a question real quick?
What's up, man?
Hey, let's say we open tomorrow and the VIX is pumping, and let's just say only the VIX and the oil companies are pumping, and the rest of the market is selling off.
Mm-hmm.
How would you manage that?
Well, I'm not in anything now. How would I manage what? Like if I went to play tech or what?
Yeah, either vice versa on whatever side you're trying to leverage on.
That's a pretty good question. So, when the war news is going on, guys, I usually skip SPY because inside, I gotta write this with the mouse, it's gonna be really ugly. Inside of SPY is like everything. It's technology, it's banks, it's airlines, it's everything. And so it also includes not XLE itself, but the stuff that's in XLE, which is oil, XLF financials, super ugly, and then tech. I don't know why I'm doing this. Super embarrassing. So SPY has all this. What I'm getting at is SPY can be choppy because XLE is booming and maybe XLF is pushing a little bit and then tech is going down. So these two are pushing up. These are going down and make SPY chop. And you're like, wait a minute. I thought we were selling on news. Why SPY sideways? What you want to do is just hang out in tech or IWM, because if tech is selling, it's your Apples, your Amazons. You guys know what the Mag 7 names. It's super, super concentrated. And so if a few names are selling, Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, I think are the top 3, NVIDIA. If those are weak, tech's going to be selling. And by tech, I mean QQQ. But again, a couple of these sectors can be going opposite, and SPY is going to have a lot of fake outs moving up and down. And so tech, QQQ could start pushing up, and then XLE starts fading. And so SPY keeps chopping. And so when the war conflicts are going on, I tend to avoid SPY just a little bit because it can get a little bit muddy, a little bit tricky. I like to try and say stuff that is concentrated. So kind of piggyback on what Norvin said, if VIX is flying, XLE is flying, well, it doesn't mean SPY is going to be fading because maybe tech is sideways or pushing as well. We just don't know. And so try and stay as concentrated you can in sectors. SPY can very well move up and down, but there's days like this that kind of in my mind, I'm like, maybe I just should shy away from it just a little bit because, there's just a lot in the S&P 500. It literally has everything. So it can have, your your Walmarts and your KLs, your safe names. So people could be flooding to that tomorrow. I don't know if they are. Quick look here, and I'll get to Matt's United Airlines, I think it is, KO. Yeah, so KO's up a little bit. Well, it was. So safe names, people are fleeing to the safe dividend type names. Walmart is doing pretty good. I mean, I know the rest of the market is, but that's kind of my point there. So that's something to watch there. So might not do a whole lot of SPY this week, but Matthew, you're still in here. Yep. You're in a 105 call. It expires in May. All right. 105. You're not super far out of the money. Let's see, just read this here. Feel free to unmute if you want. I'm just kind of writing down what you said here. So you're in. Did you get in on Friday, Matthew? Or what day did you get in? Just let me know. 105, 106. So pretty much you might have got in right here. Let's see the same thing in the chat. Yep, Friday. Cool. So you got in basically at the low. Not too bad. Obviously, gap down a little bit scary. Don't deny that. But we're going to zoom out for you here. So same theme of the night here, brother. At least I think it's the easiest way to trade. You find your bounce zones, you find your rejection zones. So if we were break even here at 105, 106, basically where you bought in, this would be green for support. We sold under it, so now I have to treat this as resistance. So basically, same thing here. Bouncing support. Sold through, it is now resistance. Don't believe me? Look at resistance, topside rejection. Resistance, first candle, they buy it back up, they bounce it. What do? They bounce it. Come down in here, they defend it. They defend it, bounce, bounce, bounce. They held it. Now we sold through here, but bulls are fighting pretty hard right now in this overnight session. So what I'd be doing here, May contract, are you in a full position size or a partial? And please be honest, because if you're in full, I don't want to tell you to average down. If you're in a partial position, I can tell you what I would do. You're in May contracts. I mean, dude, it could be 1 hour into the day and you're back up here and you're not sweating it. But let me know one contract. And is one contract room to add more? Is that all you wanted on this position? Totally fine if it's one contract. Let me know, because then I'll build a trade plan for you here, because I see a couple things I do like, could add more. All right. So option number one, it's a May contract. Honestly, let me think how I want to word this here. I would probably, okay, scenario number one, little cluster here, and we're looking present day. If we break over 104.4, yeah, it's still $2 against you. The thing is, you bought here. If I tell you to add here and we come down, you're now red on this entry, you're now red on this entry. And that's where it gets kind of spooky when you got time. You're like, well, how long do I let it go against me versus time? And so, for me, I would say, I don't know how big your port is, but I would, if we break and hold this 104, 104.14, and we hold it, like a nice 30-minute candle during the day, I think that's an okay place to add. And then you're going to basically split your average in half. And then what that's going to do for you is decision time. So hypothetically, let me zoom in here just so you can see this real nice here. Oops. There we go. There we go. So if you add here tomorrow or this week and we start holding it, your average is going to be somewhere in here. I don't know your break-even price that is. And so this big level here that was support, this is going to be resistance until you break over it. And so if you don't take an average, we push up because of the sell down, you're probably not going to be breaking. You're still going to be red. And you have to decide, hey, if I watch a reject, damn it, almost break even. We push up, I'm almost break even, I don't sell. And we keep rejecting this, you're going to get the mind games going on of, hey, we're back at my entry spots, not breaking over. We're rejecting what we talked about in class. What do I do now? So that's where it's kind of tricky. If you take an average, that's where, you you're going to be in profit basically anything over 105. And so it might not be a big percent, but this is where I always tell people play the chart, not your heart. Because if you're in profit here, to me, I would sell them for profit and then just wait for a breakout over. So maybe we kind of just do one of these, we close here and then boom, we break out, retest over. And then it's the original trade plan is Friday. I know that kind of sucks. You're like, well, wait a minute, I bought the bottom here. I sold this one, combined entry, for a little bit of profit. Why not just hold its May contracts? Well, if we don't break out over here, again, we come back down into here. This one is red again. This one is break even. We sell through, like I said. Now you have two entries that are red. That's where it gets tricky. And so I kind of wish we had a little bit. Well, I'm glad we're pushing for you guys' sake. But if we were down into this lower green zone here, I would say that's where you take your entry down here, you re-add, and you ride the wave all the way back up for a target of this zone there. But that's, because there's a little bit less to chew through right there than this big bounce zone here. So tricky spot, man. If you said, hey, I got end of March contracts, should I add? I'd say, yeah, add one here, push up here, sell, and roll out to May. But because you have like 60 days or more, that's where it's tricky. But if we do a hard push here and you don't get a buy here, I wouldn't chase an entry at 105. I would just let it ride, man, and see if you get that push over. And then we break back over this 106. And like I said, it's the same game plan. And we're just forget this conversation even happened, man. It's game on as usual. You're playing the bounces off 106. That's all you need. But yeah, just where it could go lower. So that's the thing is this could be red. I tell you, take an entry here tomorrow, even though you just bought it. That's the tricky thing. I don't know if Avenger's in here. We traded some Ford last week, and I was like, "Hey man, should I take my average here?" And he was very blunt in DMs. He's like, "I don't want to burn an average the next day. Let's see what happens." And it paid off. We waited one more day. We bottom tick an average in, and we got paid huge the next day. And so tricky spot, man. But basically, keep eyes on 104. My DMs are always open, man. If we start selling under that 104 or that 103.2, we should probably talk in DMs and just say, hey, you need to day trade some puts against it for sure, or just cut it because it's now, $3 against you. Option Greeks, that's not going to be a fun day. So if you are a day trader, don't be afraid to day trade puts against this if you believe in the setup, because we could very well just consolidate. And yeah, you're not losing more, but you're also not making money and you have money tied up. And so not the most ideal situation, but DMs are always open, man. Send me a DM if you need help. The people that send me charts and ideas, you guys are always first party because it shows me you guys are trying to, learn a little bit more. All right. Let's do PayPal.
Yeah, the same thing as service now, brother.
Yep.
More focusing on setups like these, beaten down, but showing me a
Yep.
little bit of interest of buyers stepping in.
Give
Finally,
me 1 second here. So if anybody didn't put in requests yet, you guys, I got time for probably one more after this one and then a SPY. So if no one has requested anything yet, put in the chat and I'll get it in for you. Oh, wait, let me see here. I think, did I get everybody? Yeah, let's look at Apple for sure. I think I got everybody. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Norman. Yeah, I was looking at this one too. I was kind of scanning my watch list, see if there's anything I would go over tonight. There wasn't very many requests, but definitely I like, it's not a clean trend line, but it is starting to form a trend line. But this name, I think, did they get a new CFO or CEO or something? Why is my drawing not working?
yeah, they got some type of news, honestly, but I think the concept here is they're kind of gonna follow through, same as Square, kind of cut down on their workforce, like maybe have 50%. They haven't announced nothing like that, but I mean, AI is really gonna pretty much minimize companies like these and try for them to make at least more profitable in the long run.
All right, got some levels here in the 1 hour. We're gonna zoom out, see how good or bad my chart is. I'm really interested in this 44, 46 on the daily. Don't prove me wrong. Let's see what we got. We're gonna have to go back in time, way back machine, probably around COVID. Oops, 1 second here. See how far back we got to go. 44. Way back, way back, way back. There we go. Look at that. Yeah. Yep. So I like a back test this here. How far back are we? 2016. Holy cow. That's why you never delete your lines, guys, because they still make sense. They still make sense. All this shit up here
Facts.
still makes sense. Never delete your lines, no matter how ugly it is. We can delete a few, but not the big ones. Yeah, so similar to your NOW request, brother. So I got that earnings trade. That was freaking awesome, dude. It was like $100 to 800 or something like that. It was crazy. Big gap down. EMAs are now underneath it and curling to the bottom side. So gotta love that. Big level on the daily and weekly. Obviously a beaten down name. I'm not saying you guys should just go heavy and invest in this name. It's getting its butt whooped. But from a day trade perspective, a swing trader, short-term perspective, I like a lot of stuff here on this. So for me, I'm going to try and be patient for this 44.6 zone. We might get that retest soon here, but look at, I mean, this was a news candle, I believe, but just 2 days ago, it retested a level from what I say, 2016 or 18, 6 or 8 or 10 years ago. It back tested that shit and it bounced it again. So you think that level matters? Absolutely. And so kind of a middle range here. So I'm just, 47 is kind of my upper range here. I know this is kind of quick charting. This is kind of what I'm treating as a bottom range because it did get reclaimed. I like that. We pushed back up into here and we're rejecting that 3 days in a row. So that level makes sense to me. And kind of just this fluff in between here, kind of the middle of the ground. But like I said, from a shares perspective, I don't know how good or bad the company's doing. I know there's a lot of hate on this name with a couple members in here. But trying to get back to my drawings. There we go. So kind of the middle range here. Basically, if I want to get bullish on this name, we could take the breakout over this kind of this cluster here, but I'm not looking for this because we're looking left here and we got this smack down zone likely here. So 46.5 basically would be target one for me. We clear that. We can start looking for a push up in here, and this would be like probably target 3 or 4. But really, if we got good options liquidity this week, if we slice this Friday and I'm looking here and it's Thursday's close, and what I tell you guys every single week, where's the most volume of the day? If it's not news, it's the open, it's the close. So we're chewing through all that volume there, which look at it bounced there. That's not an accident. So if we sell through this, that's a pretty bearish signal. Don't believe me? What happens when we sell through that? Boom. We push back up and they bounce that zone. So any sell under 45.5, that's a very nice, almost $1 move down to a huge, huge support zone. So what are we going to do? We're going to get out of our puts and watch or scale in on some calls here. But don't love the middle range play here. Can definitely go for more, but we got this to chew through. We got this, but haven't talked about it yet tonight. Show you guys a little something here. Volume profile. 1 second. All right. Consolidation means a lot of activity trading back and forth, back and forth. So consolidation, all the red lines is a volume point of control for each day, meaning that's where the most activity was each day. So lost my drawing mode again. There we go. So red line here, see this from Tuesday. I'll just draw kind of a shitty red line and a red line here from the following day. Chop, 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 consolidation. Got a news candle. I think this was, right? Someone correct me if I'm wrong. Hard sell. And from this zone, let me clear this to kind of show you guys. Hopefully you guys can see this. Look how thin this volume is here. Very, very thin. So this move happened fast. Not a lot of transactions in here. So we break this consolidation to the upside. Where do you think I'm going with this? This could be an explosive move up. But again, I'm not cheering. I'm not saying, I'm not calling for this target yet because we got this to chew through from prior day. But this zone up here, this can move very, very fast. I love plays like this. I talked about it several times. A couple months ago, we took a forward breakout play on that. That's all I was doing. We broke over an upper range, and I was watching for consolidation on that range, and we broke out as a huge move to the upside. So PayPal, 46.4, keeps eyes on that. That could be a very fast move up. Very, very thin volume up here from 2 days ago. Big
That
move.
30% IV pump, huh?
Yep. And so just to show my reasoning here on the volume thing. So look at this consolidation here. Consolidation. They parked it here. They sold it down quick. Look at all this thin volume. And what did it do? It recovered quick through all that thin volume. And then they bounced it at the point of control there. So volume profile, you guys, super, super powerful. If you guys don't already use it yet, if you got Think or Swim, these are my settings. If you want to take a screenshot, feel free. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Thanks, 1K.
Yeah, very, very powerful trading.
I should be back in premium soon, brother. It's just I've been pretty much working on my own tactical setups and not chasing all-time highs companies and just trying to stick to a plan that actually works. Like I like swing trades and just not chasing something that's already gone up.
Yep, that's the best thing to
100%
do, man.
exist,
Like I can't really do it now because I'm a green name, but there was times in the past where I would just disappear for a week or 2 weeks or a month and just kind of do my own thing. And like Discord's fun, OT's fun. Sometimes it's a lot, it's draining, especially for us staff members. But it's like, man, there's times that's kind of my best trading if I just kind of disappear, don't really say anything for any reason, go away for a week, and sometimes I'm totally off charts in Discord, and I come back so fresh and so level headed because it just day trade in day in and day out is just like it takes a lot, man. And on top of work life, family life, like it's a lot, man. So do your own thing, dude, and just when you're ready to come back on the paid side, we'll be here, man. All right, Apple, the other Kevin, Apple. That's cool.
We know 1K upgraded to Apple.
262. So what's that?
I said I know you got the new iPhone 1K.
No way, dude. I don't chase that new shit every year. Like I got good photography equipment, so I don't care. They're like, oh, this new camera zoom. It's like I don't care about that. I mean, the new phones, I do have the model right before they allow you to do like raw photos on the iPhone, which is kind of cool because I do a lot of hiking. I don't like to hike with a 4-pound camera. That's a lot of weight when you're hiking. So anyway, but yeah, I don't upgrade every year, man. I got the 14 regular size. But Apple, the stock. Oh shoot. Okay. Yeah, Kevin, feel free to mute her. You sold calls at 270. Oh shoot, we're talking on trade floor. Is that what you mean? Or I don't know. I got some.
No, I think we were talking last Sunday.
About this trade.
yeah.
Yes. Somewhere down in here, and like I think did you bottom tick, right?
Yeah, I got in when it was kind of breaking that 260.
That's right.
And it pushed up that one day because like Apple was strong, the market was weak, and then I set my stop loss, and then it kind of retraced us back, got it stopped out, and then we were looking at it Sunday. I was like, man, I want to get back into those April calls, so I got back in those April calls, and just kind of held those throughout the week, and Wednesday or whatever it was, hit that 270 mark. I was like, I'm out, hit my target. That was my target essentially. And so now that we're back in basically where I entered, thinking, man, maybe May calls instead of April.
Yeah. I mean, stick to your game plan, man. Like you said, if you're not a day trader and your swings and you can afford, the April May calls, just stick to your bread and butter, man, and what works. I don't have much to say. This level is proven. We know. Let me adjust this here. We know when we sell through it, like we kind of talked, and I probably mentioned last week, when we sell through it, it gets a little ugly. When they battle, it's a lot of chop back and forth, but when that releases to the upside, it's a big move. It's a big move. And so we're coming back into it, and it's no accident where it's getting defended. Again, do not delete the lines on your chart, guys. Like, Kevin trades Apple obviously pretty frequently. So it's like, this is easy. He's not looking for the random shit on Twitter. It's like, oh, Apple's back into my buy range from 5 days ago. Let's try and repeat the same process again. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. Maybe we consolidate a little bit down here. That's not worst case, but that's just what could happen. worst case they sell through it. But yeah, let me zoom out for people that are not really familiar with this zone that we kind of marked down here. That's the
And don't get me wrong, don't get me wrong. I'll day trade. Like if I get the move I want in an hour and a half, I'm taking the profits. Like,
Oh yeah,
like
yeah.
I
That's
might be
yeah.
buying 2-3 weeks worth of time, but everything to me is a day trade. If I'm up 30, 40, 50%, I'm not letting that go back to red.
That's dude. That's so smart. Glad you said. I tell people like you have insurance for your car or health insurance, whatever it is, it's for the unexpected. So you're buying time because, the unexpected. You buy here. Do they dip it down here? Yeah, I'm cool. But if it's a zero DT, I might not be cool. A 55-cent drop in my direction, you know, we know what do we know about a delta on the contract that's going to hurt you. But you're buying time because that's your insurance policy of, hey, I'm buying at a proven support here. I want it to go up. And if it pays me, yeah, my insurance policy is paid for. I paid more time. It's a smaller percent, but dude, I guarantee Kevin's hands are not sweaty, sitting here watching this shot back and forth when his contract expires in 60 days versus in 3 hours. People train the zero DTs. So yeah, dude, like I said, I don't have much to say on this. Like it's a super, super nice chart. We're back to it. I would just say repeat the process. Like I always say, repeatable trade setups is all you want to do. If you do take it and it goes against you, um, are you the type to just cut it and move on, or would you take puts against it? And do you scale in? I never really asked you, I guess.
I mean, my average position sizes are anywhere from 2 to 3 grand
Mm-hmm.
on my positions that I go out a couple months. If I do in a day trade or something that has like 3-4 days worth of time, I'm 2, 3, 4, $500.
Mm-hmm.
So I do still take, like the SPY and QQQ Wednesday calls or puts, Friday calls and puts. But on something like this, if I got in like a $3,000 position, because I'd like to try to buy 5 contracts.
Uh-huh.
So if I can buy 5 contracts and it's around 3 grand,
Mm-hmm.
2,500 to 3 grand, that's my bread and butter position size. So if it loses $500, I try to be out.
Right. Okay. I can roll with that for sure. So basically, you're buying here. You're not going to hedge if they break whatever your zone is. You're out. You move on, and you just wait for your next support. Are you
Yeah.
the type you kind of shake it off
No.
and just get puts
Yeah.
to the
Yeah. I
downside?
take no. No. I'll take the said if my next support gets broken again, I just move on to the next trade. I'm
Okay.
not. I've FOMO'd $100,000 into chasing. So
Yeah.
I'm no longer at that point in my trading where I'm trying to FOMO into missing the move. If I miss it, I miss it. If I get my 20-30%, I get my 20-30%. So like I
Nice.
said, if I lose $500, I'm out of the trade. And again, that $500 is typically right around that next support or resistance,
Yep.
depending on if you're in calls or puts.
Right. Yeah, so we're kind of this middle range here. At least let's just pretend market's about to open. So, to me, this is kind of the 50-50 trade here. You got, possible risk, possible reward if you're bullish. And if you're bearish, here's your reward, here's your risk. This is like a coin flip spot for me. Like I think on I don't know what other setup that was we looked at tonight. I think it was Meta. Didn't really love where it might open. And so for me, brother, take it or leave it. But I need a kind of a break over this spot for entry one if I want to get into calls. I'm not the type to play the open. So if I kind of see a push in here, but they break and hold this level here, I'm looking left. I'm going, okay, that was defended. And what is that defending? It's defending this top. But we kind of got this spot to chew through here. And so option one, if we break and hold 264, I know it's not your golden entry down here, but any break over this 264.53, I don't think you should be, sitting idle, sitting out on the party, so to speak, because we see when that break and holds here, that's that move, and then that's that move that got you paid. And so basically you can kind of be, if this is your gold entry, target one, you can just treat target two as your first entry and then just go up from here and just tag these on the way up. Or if we kind of stall out here pre-market and we're like, maybe we sell down, maybe you don't take the puts at the open, send alert right there, and then it's game on. Same game plan as this, and then obviously if we bounce, it's all this lovely profit up here. So you kind of got two options. But just if it opens right in the middle, for me, just how I trade, it's kind of just the waiting game because it's kind of just a coin flip to reject Friday's close and kill it down, and then my calls are smoked, or we push up and I try to short and I'm instant red on some puts. And so better entry, break and retest of that, or a back test of that for calls is what I would do. But super nice zone. Again, you guys, if you guys like trading Apple, find something you like, find something well within a range, and then, like I said, we talked a couple weeks ago, and even last week, it's like I didn't add any more lines. It's the same spot we're in here that me and Kevin looked at. We all looked at last week, and that's all we do. We just go off of that. It's the same range on this, man. But
Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll put my entry there in like Thinkorswim, and then I'll kind of drag it up or down to, where I want to get in. So,
yep,
if I want to get in at 262, I'll pick a contract. I might put, $500 on the contract, and that might really end up being at like 261. So I say, okay, I got to raise that up to maybe 560, 570 to
mm-hmm.
make it be that 262 level, which you can do that really well on Thinkorswim.
Yeah, it's
As far
super
as the
nice. I
contract
love that, man. I
selection.
love how you can do that on the chart. It's super nice.
And
And
then
that's
like I
the
said, I
beauty
just
too
kind of
is
let it.
you're not doing zero DT. So like when you move it down to here and it
Mhm.
shows that's where your entry is, like it's pretty much damn well going to tag that entry perfectly.
Yeah,
Versus
so a lot of people are saying, well, do you wait 30 minutes? Do you wait an hour? Well, I wait till it gets to whatever level. You know what I'm saying? Whether that takes 5 seconds or whether that takes 5 hours,
mhm.
I'll put my entry at wherever my zone is on the chart, and I try to put it towards the bottom of that zone.
Yep,
So, I don't care if that is 30 minutes into the market open or if that's, 30 minutes before market close,
hmm,
because again, I'm trying to buy 3-4 weeks at a time, a month at a time,
yep,
so, you know, a lot of people are saying, when do you enter? Well, I enter when it hits the area that I want to enter at.
yep, yep. Yeah, and it's you're not trying to scalp a zero DT that expires, in 40 minutes. Like you got time. You can wait for a 15-minute candle to close, but it's like hits your zone, get it, and then you have your game plan because you have your range. You have your past price action to go off of for sure, man.
Yeah, and I may not even enter Monday just because again with all the news and all that stuff. Sometimes I don't like to enter the day after. I like to wait a day. Like when VIX spikes and when markets drop and you have all these volatile moves. Sometimes you can get the same contract once you've got the confirmation for cheaper because the IV is dropped,
Yep.
especially when you're buying 2 months worth of time.
Yeah, and this week, guys, there's going to be so many tweets and news stories and this and that comes out. It's going to, if I alert something, I don't want to knock on wood right now, but we could be in the right play and get lucky with the tweet, or we could be in a play that looks great and then a tweet kills it. And so, have a lot of patience this week, you guys, because there's going to be a lot of stuff going on. It's going to be, news by the hour, every hour. I have a feeling, and so trade light, trade with caution this week, guys, for sure. Perito, how long do I wait to enter a trade? Typically for me, 30 minutes after the open. I just get shook out too much on, 15-minute candles that, close under a support and it's not super bearish candle. I'm like, okay, 15-minute close under, let me dive into puts, and then poof, I get smoked. And so I try and wait 30 minutes after the open, especially on a Monday, especially after a news weekend, a weekend filled with news. I'm not diving anything tomorrow at the open. I'm just letting it shake out. You guys do what you want at the open, but I am not going to be diving into anything right at the open just because, for one, where we're at, and for two, you guys kind of want to see how market digests this for sure. Good question though. All right, guys, you can head off if you want to. I'm going to do one more recap on SPY, kind of how I'd play this going into tomorrow. A lot of it's going to change. Hopefully, it's not totally negated. We're now over this, so for education purposes, this is a support line. But if you guys want to stick around, awesome. If you want to head out for the night, that's cool too. So, oops, messed up my screen again. Red is resistance, green line is support zones. So as of now, I think even our trade plan changed a little bit since an hour ago. Crazy how quick stuff moves. So for me, again, this is just as I see it right now. 683 gets rejected, same theme of the night. It bounces, it bounces. If we push under reject, I'm short at 683, which was a huge bounce zone. If we fail to reclaim that, to me, it tells me they're giving up on 683 for now. I'm targeting basically $1.25 down to this zone. Am I bearish down here? Am I chasing puts down here? No way when I see buybacks like this. Can it go more? Absolutely. What was it, Thursday? I was yapping about levels all day. It was on QQQ, but this day, yep. I sold I don't know where, somewhere around here. I thought for sure we'd bounce and it sold more. It happens. So again, can we slice 682? Absolutely. That's fine. But I'm not chasing puts, or if I hold a put, it better have at least 2 days of time and it better be my last one and see if we sell through that. But when I see buybacks like this, guys, big caution that a big bounce can be happening. So if we sell through that, fine. We just do the same thing. I said, if I'm shorting 683 when it fails, awesome. If this fails tomorrow, short it for the next leg down. That's all. It's literally all it is we're coming down, we consolidate, next leg down, consolidate, next leg down. It's never that easy, but you get the point. On the flip side, if 683, well, let me back up. If 682 or the 681, 68 holds, again, same thing where I said danger zone, I'm looking for a bounce retracement. I'm not looking for stuff way up here. Bare minimum 683. We clear that. Let's fill the gap. We clear that. Biggest zone on the chart, biggest zone on my chart, 685 to 686 pocket. So basically target 1, 2, 3. These are large zones. These are not 0DT scalp zones. That is not a scalp. A scalp is candle to candle. I'm a day trader. Option 2 to get bullish, if 6.8, so if we kind of make one of these pre-market moves, we push over 683. What am I doing? Repeatable price action, which is when 683 holds, it bounces. When it holds, it bounces. When it holds, it bounces, bounces, bounces. That's all we're doing. When it holds, I'm looking left and go, hey, it bounced all day Friday. Why not today? Let's get that bounce again. Any questions on SPY? Unmute your mic if you want. If not, I'm going to go cook some dinner. Anything at all. Look at the chat. Think of everything. Norvin's got Michelob Ultra and steaks. Love it. All right, y'all. I'm going to end the chat here. Appreciate y'all sticking around. All 19 of you. Awesome requests. Good questions tonight, you guys. Let's have a great week. If you had hedges on puts, anything short dated, like anything Friday expiration or less, cash them in, because you don't want to be going to the office meeting, you come back and we're at 685 and that 100% gain is just gobbled up. Don't be that person. Take the money, consider it a good swing, even though it was a war news play, and move on. You're never going to bottom tick or top tick profits. So moving on, stack the money and on to the next play. Let's have a great Monday and a great week, you guys. I'll see y'all tomorrow.